Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Vera Baziuk from Advanced Wellness Chiropractic. So in today's video, what we're going to cover is the 7 key upper body stretches for better posture. The first stretch that we're going to cover is for the suboccipitals. This is a little group of muscles that's located at the back of the skull here in the beginning of the cervical spine. They often get tight if we stick our head out too much and slightly elevate the chin. So we're going to just stretch these guys out. You can either be standing or sitting to begin. I'm going to show you in a sitting position. So if you're sitting, the first thing you want to do is tuck your chin. So deeply tuck the chin, and you can even, for added measure, if you want, you can tuck your chin and slightly try and move your head backwards. And then you're going to look down. Yes? And then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to take your 2 hands and you're going to put them on the back of your skull, about here. And then you're just going to gently kind of pull up and over and down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hold this stretch for 20 to 30 seconds. And then you can repeat that a second or even third time if you're finding that the neck is very tight. So the next stretch that we're going to cover is called levator scapulae. It's a muscle that's in between the neck and the shoulders here, and it's often very tight for people. So this stretch, we can do it with either, again, from a standing or a seated position. I'm going to show you from a seated position so that you can create a bit of a lever and accentuate the stretch. So as you're sitting, what you do is you hold one side of the chair, and this is the one that you're going to kind of lift up to create that lever action. Then what you do is you bend your neck down, you look down, but also rotate it a bit, 45 degrees, so that it's like you're smelling your armpit. So from here, you pull up on the chair, and with this hand, you pull down on your neck. And you hold this stretch for 20 to 30 seconds, repeating on the other side. And you can do this 2 to 3 sets depending on time and how much of a stretch you'd like to get. And always remember that stretching should be a comfortable discomfort. You don't want to stretch too hard, but enough in order for you to feel the muscle being stretched. The next stretch that we're going to talk about is stretching the upper trapezius fibers, which often contributes to rounded shoulders and neck tension. So again, I prefer to show you from a seated position so that you can create a little bit more of a lever. So with this hand, you hold the edge of the chair, and this you're going to pull up to create that lever action. So here, once you're pulling up, you're going to bring this ear, your opposite ear, to the opposite shoulder. And for added emphasis, you can take your hand and begin to pull gently on your neck to create even much more of a stretch. And you want to hold this for about 20 to 30 seconds and repeating to the other side. And you can do 2 or 3 sets depending on how much stretch you'd like to have and how much time is available to you. In this stretch, what we're going to cover is stretching the pectoralis major muscle, often very tight with people with rounded shoulders. So you want to come into a door frame. You want to put your arm up at a 90-degree angle. You're going to step 1 foot forward and stretch this muscle. So you're going to hold this stretch again for about 20 to 30 seconds. Take a rest and repeat 2 to 3 times. This stretch, we're going to stretch the pectoralis minor muscle. So it's a very similar stretch to the pectoralis major muscle. So again, in a doorway, instead of at 90, we're going to raise your arm up so the angle is about 120. Again, you're going to step 1 foot forward and begin to stretch this muscle. So you want to hold this stretch for 20 to 30 seconds, take a rest, and repeat 2 to 3 times. Now we're going to stretch the forearm to help with any wrist or hand pain. And there's 2 parts to this. So first you're going to outstretch your arm, bend your wrist up, take your other hands, and pull your fingers towards you. You want to hold this stretch for 20 to 30 seconds. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to bend your wrist and pull the fingers again towards you. And you want to hold it this way for 20 to 30 seconds. do each arm and repeat 2 to 3 times. Now we're going to cover latissimus dorsi stretch. So very simply, you stand tall, you raise one arm up in the air, and you begin to lean to the opposite side and grabbing your arm to give it a little bit more of a pull. You want to hold this stretch again for 20 to 30 seconds, releasing, and do the other side. You can do each side 2 to 3 sets.